Well, welcome back, guys, to an update. It's been a while since I said that. So, I finally now recently got the motivation again. Because I know last time this was like an update here, I kind of lacked the motivation to do much on the city here. Or now, it's technically a layout. I'll get to that in a sec. It always was a layout, but it's more of a layout now than it was before. But I finally now got the motivation to actually do more work on this instead of just leaving it at the mess it was before. So, let me introduce you to the new section of the now Lego layout. It's not just a city no more. So, over here, this is now going to be what I mentioned before is going to be the forested area of my layout. And I was going to bring it to about over here. And plan is still to try to get an airport over here. Like the small 1990, I believe it was in 1998 or 2003. I don't know. I have it. I don't remember the set number. But yeah, it was a small little airport. And try to keep it on top of a mountain there. But I now have the benchwork in for at least just one section now. I have the OBS plywood for the top there. I just don't have the 2x4s for the frame yet and the legs. So I have to make a run to the Home Depot soon, hopefully. And just so I can finally get that section up. But yeah, as you can see, city still a mess. Everything here is still a mess because now I actually got work onto it. And there has been some addition to the city portion itself. First one being the Ghostbusters set. I've had the hall in like a different area for like the longest time. I just never brought it to the actual layout room itself. So it's now here. It's still a mess. It's not fully finalized, but this is where it's going to be. I just haven't actually put out the scenes enough yet for it to be enough. And I don't know if this was mentioned, but I now have the Ferris wheel. The Ferris wheel is going to be in this section because what this section is going to be now, it's going to be swapped out with things every so often because I have the mixer set. I believe I had the mixer set here and the Ferris wheel at one point because like either I had them both here at the same time or I just had the mixer point. But yeah, what this area is going to be is like every so often I'm going to be like replacing it with like a different, I guess, attraction because this is going to be practically the park of the city. So every so often the park's going to have a new event. This time, for the time being, I think it's going to be time being for a little bit until a new set or I have a new idea for it. It's basically the Ferris wheel is going to stay here for now. I've tried hooking up to a motor. It's a okay. Oh, I thought something was moving, but yeah, I tried hooking up to a motor. It's a lot difficult than it is. So yeah, next is the Parisian restaurant. I have now placed the Parisian restaurant in the city now, so it is where the pet shop once was. So the house that I had where the pet shop is, I kind of just moved that over to the mess of a table. It is now over there until I figure out where I want it to be. So another plan, I still have not done this yet, but I have the set. I just need to build it. The newest hospital, I'm going to be replacing it. I'm going to replace this old hospital with the newest one at the time of this recording, which I believe is the 2018 version of the hospital. So what my plan is to basically remove, well, I'm going to move the Memorial Legionary Park to, I don't know, probably somewhere over in that area to like break up the buildings a bit to have a park. And hopefully, I don't know if it's actually going to fit. My plan is to try to see if I can get the hospital onto a 32 by 32 base plate and essentially put it here. So I can replace this straight road here with a T intersection to basically give off the impression that there's a road that leads from the city to the docks itself. The docks is still a mess. Same with the beach area. So yeah. Also, I don't know if that mentioned, but I had the deli and I made it into, well, somewhat modular. Still needs more work before I actually put it back again on the city. And the whole driving school building has now been moved to behind the Ghostbusters Hall. So, drunk guy still there. So, yep. Scenes in the city still kind of somewhat non-existent. Well, or kind of still scattered. So, yeah. So that's the plans for there. I don't know if I mentioned, but I don't know if it was in the last one, but I have the Octane gas station. I believe it's the 2017 one. I believe that's when it was released. But this is where this is going to stay. I just have to get a gray, dark bluish gray base plate to actually continue to tile it and basically make it look more finalized, like at home. So then that also means I can now get a road to lead off the table, essentially, for like an outside connection, quote unquote, to basically give the city more life. But yeah, I can now actually get a crossing here. And I have been looking at designs, because there has been a design that I liked for a North American style crossing, because the one thing with Lego crossing, they're more European based crossings, and I like to think more of my whole layout now is like North American based, because that's where I currently live. Well, not currently, but like that's where I live in North America. So I wanted to keep it like somewhat to what I see every day. So I have seen a design that I'm going to try to see if I can get the parts for and build. It's a tutorial on YouTube, so when I do it, I'll link it in the description. But also, speaking of North American builds, I have a North American style signal tower. I seen a tutorial on YouTube, and I thought that actually looked pretty cool. So I put an order on Bricklink and ordered the parts for it. Apologize for the lighting. It's a bit... that's one thing I still have to work on in this area. For this new part is proper lighting. That's probably what's going to happen for the whole Lego room. It's going to be proper lighting. So, yeah. I have this little thing here, signal. It actually looks pretty nice, even with like an engine next to it. Like, it looks proper as for like a North American, like Canada or US, something you see like on those railways. It actually looks pretty nice. So it's even got a little box. It's even got like the box next to it, which actually has some like details. You can't really, don't know if you can really see it, but yeah. Also, this well, I don't know how this fits into updates and whatnot, but I came across this this group that's called Brick. I think it's Brick Model Railroader. They basically make 8 wide rolling stock, and I seen them. I'm like, they actually look pretty nice, and I'm like, I'm gonna order a couple. So I have 3 of their sets. I've got the 52-foot ACC flat car, and I built it up into the Canadian Pacific or CP Rail style, and it looks honestly pretty nice. Unfortunately, the only thing is it's not the same stud length as like what Lego releases. So basically, the only way I can describe it is how Lionel or like O gauge kind of works, is because like you have some of their like the post-war stuff, how there's like kind of more like quote unquote toyish, and then they have their more recent stuff that actually look more like actual like model railroading style. I don't know. This is basically kind of the easiest way I can explain it. These kind of like the Brick Model Railroaders and the 8 wide essentially are like how the newer model railroading and Legos is kind of like, well, toy. Well, to be expected. So, yeah. Actually, and I have the 52, I think it's 52 foot gone. So yeah, I just got to order the parts and whatever paint scheme I want it to. So I just still need to get an engine because Lego's engine doesn't really work. But yeah, I really don't know what else to say other than, I guess, to final on the ending note, which is I need you guys' help with something. So over here in this area where the base plates are, there is going to be a, well, essentially a ditch, valley, whatever. But the one thing is I haven't decided how low I want it to be. So what my question to you guys is, what I have the sheet, the OBS sheet right here, and my question is, because I had two plans for this. I'm gonna quickly. This was essentially the length or the width or depth, whatever you want to call it, for one of them. So it's essentially like a small river. Or I have it drop down a bit more, so it's like a canyon or like a valley or something. And I'm not really sure which one to do. So that's, I guess, my question to you guys. Do you think I should do like a small ditch with like a little river? Or should I do like a canyon with like a waterfall and like a river again on the bottom? So yeah, I guess that's my question to you guys. Ditch, small little ditch, or a deep valley ravine, I guess. So just put it down in the comment section below. And yeah. So yeah, that's really it for this update. It's been a while. And hopefully, now that I have regained the motivation to do this, the updates will be coming out more frequently. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. And yeah, that's really all to say. So see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.